Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from AttaboyCowboy, and in today's video I want to talk about Q-tips and how to take care of your ears. Now, I'll oftentimes see patients that come in and say, Doc, I can't hear very good. My ears feel like they're stuffed up, and oftentimes it's because they're using Q-tips. Now, in my opinion, and probably most doctors, I don't think there's any doctors that recommend Q-tips. Q-tips, like baby wipes, should be banned just because they're not real good for you. Let me explain to you a little bit about how the ear works. You need earwax in there. Earwax keeps the tympanic membrane or the eardrum nice and soft, and it vibrates like a drum. So every time you hear sounds, it goes in and it vibrates. It goes into your inner ear, it goes into your cranial nerves, it goes into your brain, and that's how you interpret sounds. So it needs to be soft and supple. If it gets dry, then it cracks, and you can actually get a busted eardrum, which actually happened to me last year. I was using these earbuds too long, and I went to the ear, nose, and throat specialist, and he actually showed me that I had like mold growing in there. So again, if you're using these earbuds or ear pods, all that, make sure you remove them when you're not using them, because that can also cause issues with buildup of wax, or in my case, I had mold. And then the mold turned into an infection and actually caused my eardrum to pop. It's kind of scary to see it, but if you bust your eardrum, it's scary, but it doesn't really have much of an impact. Generally, it grows back in a few weeks. Mine grew back in about 6 weeks, and it didn't really impact my hearing very much. But then I couldn't go swimming because you'll get water into your inner ear, which would be not good. So back to the Q-tips. When you use Q-tips after a shower or anytime, regardless of the technique you use, you're pushing or you're compacting the earwax in there. So you'll often see people come in and they have tinnitus or ringing in their ears. Their balance is off because it impacts their vestibular system, or it impacts their hearing. Their hearings are off. They're like, wow, I can't hear very good, I have to turn the TV up really loud, and oftentimes the family members will notice. They'll say, yeah, what's wrong with my mom or my dad or my son or whatever? They always have the TV so loud. Is there something wrong with their ears? And when you look in their ear, simply it's just compacted with earwax, because they've been ramming it in there with Q-tips. That's why you don't want to use Q-tips. There's no benefit to them. They're not good for your ears, and they're going to cause issues with your ears over the long term. Now, what are some alternatives? Well, I don't recommend sticking anything in your ear. It's not good for you. It's not necessary. You need to have some earwax in there. Now, what you can do is when you take a shower, just get plain old soap and water and clean around as much as you can. That's what I do when I take a shower. That's going to get enough out of there. Now, if you really feel like you need to get extra wax out, because some people do overproduce the earwax or the serum, you can use peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, plain old hydrogen peroxide for $1, the big brown bottles at the pharmacy. Just lay on your side, put a few drops in your ear. You'll actually start hearing like crackling and popping. It's really cool. And you lay there for about 5 to 10 minutes until the sound starts to die off, and then you just sit up, and you'll oftentimes even see orange or yellow debris kind of ooze out. I typically will do both ears maybe every few months, or as needed, maybe once or twice a year. And then I'll go jump in the shower, and then I'll use the soap, and that's more than enough. Now, they also sell other drops at the pharmacy for like $6, $7. Those are not any better, not really worth the extra cost, but if you prefer those, you can use those. But again, plain old hydrogen peroxide is enough to clean your ears. The most important thing is to not use the Q-tips so you don't get that impaction. So I hope that helps. And from Barranquilla, Colombia, I want to share this beautiful statue of Shakira dancing with you. Thank you, and good